8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage des EAP. Et décollage. La trajectoire est nominale. La propulsion est nominale.
Well, Ariane 5 has just disappeared up into space. I mean, that was incredible, Vincent et Baptiste.
La propulsion est nominale.
The clear skies, the sounds of cameras clicking.
And we still have an incredible
image.
That's really a bright night.
So, Vincent, can you tell us now? We're intrigued to know it's disappearing up into space, but what are the next important stages of its journey?
Yes, for the time being, the launcher is still in its initial conditions, that is to say, still in one piece, I would say. But in 1 minute, approximately, the two solid booster will separate from the main stage. That will occur at precisely at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Then, 1 minute later, the fairing will be jettisoned.
La trajectoire est
no
nominale.
more atmosphere, so no need to maintain the fairing on the launcher. At 8 minutes and 36 seconds, the Vulcain engine will be switched off, and the main cryogenic stage will be separated 6 seconds later. So the engine of the upper cryogenic stage will be then ignited and will take the reins during more than 16 minutes in order to reach the targeted orbit.
La propulsion est nominale, le pilotage est calme.
And we have the image of the booster.
We still have it. It's incredible.
That's incredible.
Séparation des EAP.
So you have that confirmation.
Yes, we have the confirmation, yes, as you can see, that the two boosters have been successfully separated.
So, Vincent, what I would like to ask you is, without these two boosters, the launcher is obviously now lighter than it was at takeoff. Can you tell us more about its weight now? Why does it need these boosters anymore?
Yes, so the launcher is liberated from any dead weight in order to maximize the capabilities of the different stages. So that's why, as soon as the solid propellant located inside the booster has been fully consumed, the two boosters are separated. So after this separation, the mass of the launcher is only 170 tons, to be compared to 770 tons at liftoff time.
We still have an incredible image. That's incredible. And now we're waiting for the next stage.
Yes.
Séparation de la coiffe.
Yes, we got confirmation that as you can see on the video, that the fairing has been successfully jettisoned. So here we can see the spacecraft. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Vincent. We have 5 minutes before our next milestone. So let's talk about Ariane 5's mission. We will come back to the different stages of this flight in a few moments, but before that, I would really like to talk about the specific geostationary orbit that we mentioned at the beginning of this program and towards which Ariane 5 is obviously now heading. First of all, what are the main orbits operated by Arianespace?
Well, for observation and meteosat that need to pass over an Earth region at the same local time every day, we use SSO orbit, so a sun-synchronous orbit. For the International Space Station and also particular satellite constellations that need to be relatively close to the Earth's surface, we use a low Earth orbit, for which the proximity to Earth is very useful, I would say. The telecomsat, as a KONNECT VHTS, need to stay constantly above one particular place over Earth. So they have to be placed on a geostationary orbit. Ariane 5 can inject such telecom orbit, satellite, on a geo-transfer orbit called GTO. So the satellites are not directly placed on their final orbit. They need to use their own energy. They can move to the final geostationary orbit.
Okay, and you explained me before that it's a specific flight tonight because the orbit targeted is special.
Yes, tonight Ariane 5 will inject the Connect VHTS spacecraft on a GTO orbit with an apogee at 60,000 kilometers, which is a little bit unusual. So the strategy to consider such an injection with a very high apogee comes from a request from our customer and is made possible by the performance capabilities Ariane 5 can offer for this single launch mission. So we have customized the injection orbit in order to satisfy as best as possible the request and demand from our customer.
Okay, I'm sorry to insist. Why is it a special demand, I guess? You know.
In fact, such GTO injection enables our customer to reduce the quantity of propellant needed for the spacecraft to reach the final geo orbit after its separation from the launcher. So in other words, such injection is a more energetic orbit, on a more energetic orbit, enables to reduce the propulsion cost for the spacecraft to reach its final operational orbit. The consequence is that the spacecraft will consume less propellant and its operational lifetime will be then extended.
Okay.
So what kind of satellites is this particular orbit suited to?
Such orbit is very interesting typically for electrical satellite as Connect VHTS. It enables the spacecraft operation engineer to optimize the post-launch sequence from the spacecraft separation from the launcher up to the time when the spacecraft is positioned in its final orbit.
Okay. Let's go back to live, tonight's mission. Can you tell us about Ariane 5's present status?
Yes, so we are getting near the end of the main stage flight, so the flight sequence is running perfectly as expected. Yes. The cutoff of the main stage engine will occur in 1 minute and a half, approximately at 8 minutes and 36 seconds. And the launcher is still tracked by the Galileo ground station near Kourou. It will be seen very soon by Natal. So
Thank you.
Yeah. We got the confirmation that the launcher is now seen by the Natal ground station.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'd just like to say, going back into the Jupiter, we are with these very important VIPs today, Eva Bernecker, Dominique Dinin, Ross McInnes, and Hervé Daré. A bit of information here. Eva took the helm of EUTELSAT at the beginning of the year as Chief Executive Officer. Dominique heads the telecom. They're not just here on the screen yet, but
apparently they're
but we'll see them
outside the Jupiter room.
But
watching,
we'll see them later.
Definitely.
There's Dominique, who heads the Telecom Operators Board of Directors, of which Ross is a member. Hervé heads Thales Alenia Space, and it's his teams who designed and built the satellite launch tonight, EUTELSAT KONNECT VHTS. But
and we'll have the pleasure to interview later on Road to Space. Let's go back to the tonight's flight. We are not waiting for another announcement, really important by the DDO, and it's about the main core.
Yes, so there will be a successive announcement by the DDO. So there will be the extension of the main stage, then its separation, and after the beginning of the upper stage flight.
Séparation de l'EPC.
Okay.
So we got confirmation that the PC is now the engine is cut off, and the main stage is well separated, yes.
Well separated. And we can see on those images
yes, and the upper
behind
stage
us
is now ignited, yeah.
Okay.